Good evening. We're back with more Star Wars Unlimited. This evening will be a deck spotlight of a blue Vader, Vigilance Vader deck. The typical format for these deck spotlights will go over the deck, we'll play a game against AI on Force Table in order to be able to see the cards in action and talk about them more before moving over to human opponents on Karabast. The human opponents will leave me less time to talk about the cards, so I want to get in one game against AI so I can see how the deck works and so you can see how the deck works, and so we can talk about the cards as they're in play, and then move over into human games. This deck is based on the deck that I built is on the left. It is heavily based on the deck on the right, which was a tournament winner, a 5K tournament, and I changed it pretty significantly, I would say. Well, I don't know how significantly, but 10 or so cards, 10 or 11 cards were changed. And the reason is because in my playtesting for the deck as it was built on the right, it went very poorly. Very, very poorly. I would be weary in general of going out and buying the cards for tournament winning decks that you see without testing yourself, because a lot of times decks that win tournaments, those decks are based around a local meta. And when you play them online or when you play them in your meta, you may not get the same results. And when I played the deck on the right in the online meta, it did not go well. So I made the following changes. I added in an additional copy of Emperor Palpatine and an additional Viper Probe Droid. I also added 3 copies of Death Trooper. 3/3 that deals 2 damage to a friendly unit and 2 damage to an enemy. Typically the 2 damage goes on itself. It's another form of removal. I removed the single copy of Imperial Interceptor. I don't typically like one-offs except for very niche cases. And then I also removed Force Lightning. I removed Make an Opening. I removed Super Laser Blast, and I added in Bombing Run, which fulfills a very similar role to Super Laser Blast. It's just available earlier. The problem I was running into with the deck on the right is that I was losing to aggro a lot. And then I also added in Count Dooku, who gives another option for putting some damage on the face in the mid-game, also additional removal. So mainly removing Make an Opening, which I'm just not a fan of. Oh, I also removed Entrenched. So Entrenched is out, Make an Opening is out, Imperial Interceptor, Force Lightning are out, and then we included 3 times Count Dooku, 3 times Death Trooper, 1 extra Viper Probe Droid, 1 extra Emperor Palpatine, and Super Laser Blast out for Bombing Run. And I'm not that sold on Bombing Run even. I've found it to be niche use, though I've seen in some videos of the deck being played that it's done very well. But in my playtesting, it just, Super Laser Blast just wasn't helpful that often. So anyway, let's jump over onto Force Table. For this brief playtest against AI, I'll be playing against a tournament-winning Leia Green deck, which is very fast. It is a aggro deck, and will give the AI plus 5 HP as a handicap for being AI. So if you're not familiar with Darth Vader, his action is 1 cost, and if you played an Imperial card this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit and 1 damage to a base. Do we want a mulligan? Yeah, this is a very high cost hand, so do want a mulligan. This deck relies heavily around Avenger or Emperor Palpatine in the late game. Nonetheless, I do generally mulligan those high cost cards in the early game, so we're just going to mulligan, especially against a deck like Leia, which is very aggressive, very, very aggressive. So he plays Mon Mothma, search the top 5 cards of the deck for a Rebel card and add it to the hand. And he added Metal Ceremony to their hand. We're going to go ahead and just probably just Force Choke It gives them an extra card in hand, but as opposed to doing nothing. And we know that Metal Ceremony can be used to buff up the Mon Mothma, which is why I want to keep the board clear, even though it allows them to draw a card. So the opponent took the initiative token, and then we go ahead and pass. And we'll resource probably the Death Star Trooper. Death Star Stormtrooper. Alright, Fleet Lieutenant is played. I'll do my best to mouse over all of the cards that are played so you can see it clearly. I know it's not always clear on video unless you get that big version. And then we'll go ahead and probably play the Death Trooper. You could make a case for open fire, actually. I think I'll open fire. He takes the initiative, so we pass. And we're going to resource the second Childson. And we'll just go ahead and play the System Patrol Craft. Actually, I think this is a good opportunity for Childson. He's never going to be stronger, and he can definitely get weaker. He gets +1/+1 for each of the Vigilance cards in your hand, the blue icon. So he becomes a 5/5. Opponent plays 2 X-Wings, so I could actually really use a bombing run right now. There it is. And we will go ahead and just bombing run. Space. I think this is just infinitely better than the Super Laser Blast would have been in a similar situation. So he plays Leia, and we're going to go ahead and attack the Leia with Childson. He's probably going to use Tarkin Town on the Childson now. Yep, there it goes. And we'll take the initiative, and the opponent get in 4 damage. We can finish off the Leia with Darth Vader's ability. Alternately, I could just vanquish the K2SO. So my options are like Death Trooper, damage K2SO, and Vader on Leia, or vanquish K2SO and leave Leia up. Resourcing a card will resource the Emperor. And we'll go ahead and Death Trooper. He's got a lot of buffs in his deck. I don't want to have Leia get too big for me to handle. Oh wait, that wasn't originally what I was going to do. What did he do? He just attacked it? Oh, okay. That's fine. In that case, that works out very well. Another K2SO. And we'll play Inferno 4. I Am Your Father, Bombing Run. I think I'd rather have the Bombing Run. Yeah, Bombing Run will be good in this spot. Take the initiative. I was struggling a lot against decks like this, both against AI and against humans without Bombing Run. Unfortunately, it's not an Imperial card. I'm thinking, so I can't use Vader's ability to finish off K2SO. I'm thinking I might vanquish the K2SO. Yeah, I think I like that better than Bombing Run at the moment. So he's going to attack with the Battlefield Marine. And we took 3 damage from K2SO when it was defeated. And we'll go ahead and get Vader into play now. Attack with Vader. Get 2 damage there. When Vader attacks, you may deal 2 damage to a unit. So my plan is to deal with the X-Wing with Inferno 4. Keep the board clear. And opponent already took the initiative token, so we just pass. And we'll resource, probably bombing run at this point. Now is the time when I want to draw my late game. I've resourced several late game cards, but I've got a lot more. So he's using for a cause I believe in. That typically is just 4 damage to the face. So he only needs 10 more damage. Play System Patrol Craft. And do I want to use a takedown here? I think so. Use takedown on the Pathfinder. And he took the initiative, so he can't do anything else. Just damage in, pass on the Vader damage. So we're in an okay spot, but I really need late game. There it is. There's the Avenger. Should be able to clean it up from here. So we just drew an Admiral Akbar with Mon Mothma. We're at a pretty severe card disadvantage. But it shouldn't matter. That deck doesn't really run removal, so he's not going to be able to deal with Avenger. Not going to give him an opportunity to buff anything up. Of course, Avenger, when played and on attack, an opponent chooses a non-leader unit they control. System Patrol Craft is just a Sentinel. And Inferno 4, when played or when defeated, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put any number of them on the bottom of your deck, and the rest on top in any order. We'll go ahead and get our attacks in. Next turn should end the game, but we'll see. Don't really need System Patrol Craft, so we got Power of the Dark Side if there's anything big coming down. When Avenger attacks, it sends off another unit. So that card is so good. Maybe the best late game finisher in the game. We can just keep the board clear. There's not really any point. We're going to win this round. So that's a game against AI, and with the tournament version of the deck, I was struggling. I was only winning against AI maybe 50% of the time. Let's switch over. I can play against human opponents now. Here we go. Into a match against Han Green. Do I like my hand? I do like my hand. Looks good. No mulligan. And I won the roll, so I get to go first. Go ahead and resource the bombing run and probably the Death Trooper. It's the least good of the removals that I have. So play the Probe Droid. Let's see what he's got. He's got Greedo, slow on the draw, patrolling V-Wing, Echo-based Defender, and U-Wing reinforcement. So he plays the patrolling V-Wing, and I'll just claim the initiative, and then he passes. We'll resource the Avenger, since it's not playable for a long time. Go ahead and play another Probe Droid. He picked up Millennium Falcon. The idea is that we're going to use Vader to ping off the patrolling V-Wing. And put 1 damage on the face. And then he's going to play Millennium Falcon, which I'll probably open fire or Power of the Dark Side next round. But he was able to get some damage in on the face. And claim the initiative. So if he wants to keep Millennium Falcon in play, he has to pay 1 during the regroup phase. I think this time I'm going to resource open fire. I've got enough removal for the moment. And we can just open fire to get rid of the Millennium Falcon. And use one of the probe droids to take out Echo Base Defender. And then we get 3 damage on the face. Wait, did I play an Imperial card? I don't know, but there's no target for my ability anyway, except one of my own units. We'll resource the Force Choke here. I would say Han is a good matchup for Vader. Okay, so he used Han's ability, which gains him an extra resource temporarily. I'm just going to attack with the probe droid, as opposed to just passing, which I could have done. It's going to bring Han in, which we'll immediately deal with Power of the Dark Side. The opponent chooses a unit they control, defeat that unit. Obviously, when he only has 1 unit, there's no choice. And then he claimed the initiative token, and I will just pass. Probably resource takedown here. It's the least efficient of the removals. And I want to play Childs on this turn. Okay, he's going to add another resource with Han. And I'm going to pass and see what he does. And I'll just Power of the Dark Side, whatever it is. Oh, it's U-Wing reinforcement. Okay. So search the top 10 cards of your deck for up to 3 units with combined cost 7 or less and play each of them for free. So he got a Vanguard Ace, Millennium Falcon, Vanguard Ace with a experience token, and a Battlefield Marine. Go ahead and take out the Battlefield Marine. He's going to claim the initiative. There's nothing else he can do. And I think I'll go ahead and vanquish the Millennium Falcon. And Vader can clean up the Vanguard Ace next round. Do I have the ability to ping? I forget. I don't think so. We'll go ahead and resource Death Trooper. Maybe it's Force Choke. May play Childson and Death Trooper or Childson and Power of the Dark Side this turn, so this gives me options. Let's go ahead and bring Vader in. See if he has an answer for that. Oh, he played U-Wing reinforcement again. So we can take out the Echo Base Defender and deal 2 damage to the Vanguard Ace. So he has an Uzi-Tuck Liberator gunship, which has ambush, so he's able to get a little face damage on me. We'll play Childson here. Reveal my hand to make him a 5/5. And then I think I'm going to Power of the Dark Side that Liberator. No, my bad. It was my action. And we'll resource the Inferno 4. In the late game, Vigilance is decent. Home 1. Play a rebel unit from your discard pile, which will cost 3 or less. That is Leia, and he's able to exhaust my Darth Vader with the Leia. I can Vigilance, or I can Death Trooper. I like Death Trooper a little more here. Vigilance will save. So Death Trooper deals 2 damage to itself and 2 damage to the Leia. And then we get 5 on the face. And pass, so he's going to get 7 in with Home 1. And we may have to clean up some of the board before we can Avenger his Home 1 away. If he just attacks immediately with Home 1 though, we'll be able to Avenger it right away. See what he chooses to do here. Okay, he's going to get Han Solo in, who has ambush. So Han is able to take out my... Who was it he took out? Killed my Childson for free. I can kill Han with Vader, which I think I will do. And then he'll go face with Home 1. Oh no, he played Spark of Rebellion. He's going to get rid of my Avenger. That's devastating. So we'll go ahead and Vigilance here, I think. Heal for 5. And give a shield to the Death Trooper, I think. Discarding 6 I don't think is going to be applicable. Drop him to 18. I actually think I'd rather claim the initiative than have 3 damage here. In case I draw another Avenger or Power of the Dark Side, I think I have 1 left. Need to be able to use it before he can do anything. No, I didn't draw. The cards I needed. And I can't force choke Home 1, of course. So we'll just pass, see what he's going to do. Losing that Avenger to Spark of Rebellion was a pretty big deal. He's got another one. In this case, it's not that big a deal. Let's see what else he's going to do. It's just going to come down to whether I can draw an Emperor, a Dooku. So he attacked with Home 1. Will attack. takes initiative. Okay, so I did draw the Emperor. I don't think I'm going to resource anything. Emperor for 6. Hopefully we can finish it off with Vader, but we'll see. He may just have 2 damage and then I lose. Oh, he has another home 1 replacement? Okay. Okay, that's game. Oh, I still have to take an action. Okay. Continuing on, we got a game against Sabine, yellow. And we'll see how it goes. Do I like this opening hand? Not really, because there's no 2 or 1 drop. So I will mulligan. And I got the 1 drop and a 2 drop, so that's nice. So we'll see how this matchup goes. Gonna resource Emperor and Vanquish here. Okay, we'll go Death Star and Stormtrooper and ping R2. And I'm sure he's going to claim the initiative. He's played a Spec Force Soldier and R2-D2, who can look at the top card of your deck and cycle through things if he wants. In the starter deck, he's comboed with C-3PO, but you rarely see that in Constructed. We'll go ahead and resource Super Laser Blast, probably. Maybe Emperor. Okay, so he's going to trade R2 with the Stormtrooper, which we're fine with. And we just open fire here. And he's going to play red 3. Sabine has an action, deal 1 damage to each base. Resource restock, which I don't need against Sabine. I think we'll just power of the dark side. It is an Imperial card, so I'll be able to ping with Vader. And he's going to put Sabine into play. I'll claim the initiative after the attack, and he's going to play an Oizitak Liberator gunship. I actually think I may need both of those takedowns. I'm going to resource the Inferno 4. We'll defeat Sabine. Gonna be taking 3 damage here. There's other Sabine. Takedown's not an Imperial card, so I can't ping with Vader. This is an aggro deck, and my deck can struggle a little bit against aggro. I think I'm going to keep both of those. Let's resource Avenger. Let's go ahead and open fire. Let's force choke Sabine, I think. They can't be used against ships. Wing leader. So now we'll open fire. Wait, where did those experience tokens go? Okay, so I opened fired, I force choked, so I do get to ping with Vader. Kill off the wing leader. And next turn we can put Darth Vader into play, along with Count Dooku. That's a good draw. Do not have hand advantage. He's chosen to draw one turn instead of resourcing something. So just go Dooku here, take out R2-D2. There's the Millennium Falcon. Get Vader into the field. Sure, he's gonna exhaust Vader with Leia, and the Falcon will have to go back to hand. So we're at 11 damage. Leia either readies a resource or exhausts the unit. Falcon enters play ready. When you ready cards during the regroup phase, either pay 1 or return this unit to the owner's hand. I wasn't paying attention. Did he pay the 1? Okay, so we'll probably use Emperor here to clear the Millennium Falcon. Could just use Takedown on it and then play Lieutenant Childson as well. I think it's an Emperor. Five on the Falcon, 1 on Leia. And then she's going to attack my face. And we use Vader's 2 damage on attack to deal with Leia. So he's got a ship. We've got a Dooku attack. So we've got him up to 15. I'd say we're in a pretty good spot. And then he's going to go for a cause I believe in, which I'm sure will deal 4 damage to me. Got the initiative. And he's got 1 card in hand. We'll resource Childson. Maybe Inferno 4. Probably Childson. I think Inferno 4 is more valuable at this point. I'm going to look at what cards might be good to replace Childson with. He seems inconsistent. Let's go Avenger. Falcon. Attack with Vader, 2 damage to the Falcon. Should be winning next round. Dooku, or actually I'm winning this round. If he can't deal with Palpatine. So he had for a cause I believe in, that gets me to 24. It's not enough. GG's. And we're into a match against Iden Versio. It'll be a control match. That hand is fine. The important cards in this one are Restock and what's that? Vigilance. Everything else is pretty superfluous, depending on what version of Iden he's playing. It's double blue, but I think Iden's typically a mill deck. So we'll see how this goes. Ping with Vader. And he's going to claim the initiative here, and then I'm going to pass. And we'll resource Dooku. Dooku's really good in this deck. I like him a lot in playtesting so far. It's been very good. Wait, what did he do? Oh, he played Power of the Dark Side to deal with my Death Star Trooper. Interesting. Okay. I don't have anything I can do here. I'll just take the initiative. Just going to use Iden to heal one. Okay, we definitely want the Vigilance. I'm going to resource Force Choke. Though I don't really object to him drawing a card. Play Childson for a 5/5, which I'm sure he will be able to deal with, being this is a Vigilance control deck. He just attacked with the ship. I'll take the initiative. There it is, takedown. I think we'll resource Open Fire at this point. Well, maybe I use Open Fire to take down Inferno 4. Resource my Inferno 4. And I'll claim the initiative and Power of the Dark Side if he plays anything big here. Next turn we can start Vigilancing him. If I want to, but I'll probably Vanquish instead or take down. And resource the Death Star Trooper. And we'll take down. Another Childson. That one we can Force Choke. And he's going to play Iden here, which I will end up Power of the Dark Siding. I don't want to draw 3 cards in this matchup. It almost always is going to come down to mill. There's not really a reason to play Vader this round unless he plays something else. Cargo Juggernaut. Okay. Just Power of the Dark Side that as well. And he Power of the Dark Sided? No, he passed. Why would he pass? He doesn't want the initiative? I'm still not sure if this is a Vigilance mill deck. He can play Vigilance on 4 because he does have 2 blue icons. Let's go ahead and Vigilance him. Mill and heal. So he'll be down to 25 cards in deck. So I discard 6 cards from his deck, then I heal for 5. What did we discard? Let's see. Spark of Rebellion off color. That's interesting. He may not be running Vigilance. So he took out my Avenger with Spark of Rebellion. What did I play this round? I played Vigilance? Okay. Does he have a way to deal with Vader? He may have Super Laser Blast. He's used 2 Power of the Dark Sides. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna keep both of these. So obviously pass here as there's nothing I can do. Sure, we can take out that Inferno 4. Basically saving Vader for if we actually need it to deal with something. I want both of those. What do I have in my graveyard? I have 1 Vigilance. I could restock that, or I could be greedy and wait for my second Vigilance. Just open fire. So restock chooses up to 4 cards in the discard pile, puts them on the bottom of their owner's deck. Vigilance plus restock is the way that you win against control. Just waiting 10 turns for him to run out of cards. Unless he plays Vigilance or restock himself. I haven't seen any evidence of it. I would have thought he would have drawn a Vigilance by now if he was playing it. Okay, he plays Avenger, which we will vanquish. And then just claim initiative. Drew another Super Laser Blast. play a Death Trooper. Okay, there's his Vigilance. See if he made me discard my other Vigilance. Nope. There's still one Vigilance left in the deck. And then he took out my other dude. I might as well play the Death Trooper. Number 2. There's his second Vigilance. Okay, did he get my other Vigilance that time? No, it's still in the deck. And I have restock in hand. I can use Vader to ping, but I'd rather have initiative than do the 1 damage. It'll just get healed anyway. Where is my other Vigilance? Probe droid. Palpatine deals 6 damage divided as you choose among enemy units. He's going to Avenger that. And I will take the initiative. Got an Avenger of my own. Oh, whoops, I should have resourced a card there. Oh well. Just super laser. I should have resourced the probe droid and played Avenger. Not that I think it'll matter very much. He sparked a rebellion to my Avenger though, so that is kind of a big deal. Where is my other Vigilance? Vigilance number 1. I am your father. Play Emperor. Avenger. How many Avengers is that? That's 3. That's the 3rd one. He might still have a Vigilance. In fact, he probably does. As do I. Okay, so he's going to get 8 damage off of his... There's my Vigilance. I'll resource the probe droid. And I'm going to have Vigilance here. Mill and heal. So he's down to 3 cards. Did I get his 3rd Vigilance? Nope, there it is. And then going to restock here. Vigilance, Avenger, Avenger, Vigilance. And he restocks as well. Which actually isn't going to do anything. He should have waited until I vigilanced again. I'll take the initiative. Okay. So we just want to vigilance the rest of his deck away. He attacks with Avenger. I'll claim the initiative. Okay. Avenger, his Avenger. And he's going to vanquish. Cargo Juggernaut. I think I'm going to deploy Vader here. I'm going to hope that it burns out whatever removal he has left. So that my Avenger gets through. Will attack and ping off the shield. If I attack the Juggernaut, I would just take damage needlessly. Okay, so we had Power of the Dark Side there. And then we'll go ahead and Avenger. And we'll see what he's got left. 2 cards. Patrolcraft, that isn't anything. And Inferno 4, so I win. GG's. I think that game really just came down to who managed to vigilance what. I don't know that I played it better. Probably just luck. So I think we both played the right cards in our deck. Just came down to who drew what in what order. And my draw ended up better. It was a good game though. So that's going to do it for this video. It went well. Like I said, the games with the tournament version of the deck did not go well. Maybe it just didn't fit my playstyle, but I do like the changes that I made to the deck. So here is the deck again. Again, I added in Count Dooku and Death Trooper, taking out, what is it, create a space, and I forget what the other one was. But they were removal cards that I didn't feel were that helpful or that good. The Death Trooper is only so-so. If we were gonna remove Childson, what are the options for a ground unit as a 4-drop? Maybe a 3-drop. Baze Malbus. No. Frontier ATRT. No. General Veers. No. It's not that kind of deck. Saw Gerrera. No. He's anti-synergistic with my deck. Wampa. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe Wampa's more consistent than Childson. Sometimes he's a 5-5. But sometimes he's a 4-4 or he's a 3-4. And a Wampa is always a 4-5 with Overwhelm. Arguably better than Childson. Arguably. Means occasionally Childson can be bigger than a 5-5, but that really never happens. What about Seventh Sister? It's not terrible, but it's a 5-drop and not a 4. I actually kind of like Wampa. I might test it in the deck over Childson. Doesn't allow the Vader to proc though, because it's not an Imperial. But anyway, that's all for this video. That's the Vigilance Vader deck, Blue Vader, and thank you for watching.